Between 1910 and 1920, Akron experienced unprecedented growth, a population boom from about 70,000 people in 1910 to over 200,000 just a decade later. Like most industrial cities of the time, Akron was choked with pollution. Water and sewers were not developed or non-existent. Families were challenged by overcrowding and accompanying problems of poverty and alcohol abuse.
Most of the people who came during that decade of 1910 to 1920 were people who were, I think you might say, needy folks. Not all of them by any manner of means, but many of them.
Many people in Akron were in dire need of a helping hand. A variety of social service agencies cropped up around town, all worthwhile and all seeking contributions to help those in need. Corporate leaders wanted to help, but they also insisted that nonprofit organizations in Summit County follow the lead of communities across the country and create a unified fundraising drive. And so the Better Akron Foundation was created. When the first post-war campaign was held in 1919 under the leadership of Goodyear executive W.D. Schultz, the organization raised the astonishing amount of $1.2 million from approximately 15,000 subscribers. Remarkable indeed, the average gift was about $80 per donor at a time when the average salary was just $100 per month. That means the average donor gave just under 7% of their yearly salary to that campaign.
This region of northeastern Ohio, specifically Cleveland and Akron, were national leaders during the World War I era in establishing community-wide assistance for the needy.
Throughout the early years of the organization, in addition to solicitations made at workplaces throughout the community, hundreds of volunteers fanned out and sought donations door to door as well. Many men were involved by making contributions and running the campaign at their workplaces. But the door-to-door solicitation teams were one way that many women became a part of the United Way system.
I knocked on doors, and back then there was no fear of people getting into difficult situations, and I loved that. I loved meeting people and being able to talk about the whole United Way effort and how important it was.
The name changed many times, but the generosity of our citizens always remained constant. In fact, when things were at their worst, that's when people stepped up and showed their best. In 1930, the first campaign after the start of the Great Depression saw the highest total raised since the initial effort in 1918. And during World War II, the campaigns exceeded their goals by some of the highest percentages ever. The people of our community show time and time again that they are at their most generous when the needs are at their greatest. As the organization moved into the 1950s, the workplace campaign became the backbone of fundraising efforts. There were competitions among the rubber companies and other large employers, special events such as Miss Fair Share contests, and campaign reporting events and rallies, often bringing in national celebrities to pump up community support.
It created an atmosphere of giving that stays with you year after year. You begin to appreciate just what the United Way in Akron does, and that is it focuses on providing the necessary support to community agencies and organizations, and it does it in a very cost-effective way.
Another reason for the success of community chest drives during these years was the strong support of John S. Knight and the Akron Beacon Journal. Extensive coverage, supportive editorials, and daily campaign updates were regular features in the paper each fall. As the workplace campaign became stronger through the years, the door-to-door solicitation drive was eliminated. One of the largest public events the community had ever seen was held on September 13, 1986, when Goodyear opened the massive doors to its air dock. allowing public access to the facility for the first time in more than 50 years. More than 200,000 people came out on that beautiful fall day to walk around inside the hangar and getting closer to the Goodyear blimp than most people had ever been before. They marveled at the inside of the structure that most had only heard about. United Way kickoff events have often featured celebrities, such as in 1988, when Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar was the star attraction. Greater Akron has been well served by the many corporate leaders who have served as campaign chair of the annual United Way Red Cross Drive. They've shared their time and put their personal reputation on the line to reach the annual goal, often an aggressive goal and always a very public goal. Each campaign chair took the results of their campaign very personally, and they worked tirelessly to achieve success.
As far back as I can remember, giving back was a big part of my life. I grew up in a small town in Alabama around a wonderful family who instilled in me the values that I carry with me to this day. And so that's why it was very important for me to continue that family legacy of sharing and caring and giving. And what better way to do that than to work with United Way of Summit County. I'm very, very proud to work for a great company, Omnova Solutions. Not only does the company give financially, but it allows its employees to go out and volunteer.
Over the years, 10 executives from the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company have served as campaign chair, and 6 from First Energy Corporation and its predecessor, Ohio Edison Company. The campaign chairs of our recent past are just as impressive and just as committed to the mission of improving lives in Summit County. While some of the events utilized by today's United Way might not be recognizable to those men and women who created this organization 90 years ago, they would be pleased that we are still here, making an immeasurable impact on the lives of people throughout Summit County. Today's United Way is seeking new ways to reach out to potential donors through targeted demographics and specific events such as the immensely popular Docs Who Rock Physician Talent Show and launching direct service programs like Born Learning. Now, 90 years and $400 million later, United Way of Summit County continues to improve lives by mobilizing community assets, the collective power of tens of thousands of generous donors, the passionate service of hundreds of dedicated employees at our outstanding affiliated agencies, and the selfless contributions of countless volunteers throughout our community. All of us together make Summit County the best it can be.
It's been my pleasure and privilege to serve as President and CEO during this historic 90th anniversary. Over the past 90 years, generations of donors, generations of volunteers, and generations of people who have stepped up to community leadership roles have left us a legacy of caring and sharing that is second to none in the country. Going forward towards United Way's centennial year, we intend to keep doing what we do best, helping community agencies do more of what they do and do it better, and advancing community impact priorities through public policy advocacy, community education, and application of increased resources in critical areas such as school readiness for children and economic stability for families. United Way of Summit County honors and cherishes and celebrates the great philanthropic spirit that makes Summit County the great place it is to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you.